Whoa. This is so cool. I've been waiting for this moment to have YouTube Live. I don't know how long I've had it, but I saw somebody else talking about it this morning. I'm like, do I have it? And I have it. So this is my very first, no, actually, I've been live on my YouTube in the past in a very complicated fashion. I'm a one-click kind of a gal. Like, let me just get it done. Like, I just can't have all these steps involved with going live. I'm not techie that way. I don't know why it says I have a poor connection, so hopefully it's not too bad. So I have no idea.
Are you on Wi-Fi?
Yeah, I'm on Wi-Fi. Okay. And can you look and see if you see it? I have no idea if there's anybody on here or what's going on. So bear with me. I'm on live on... Hi, Elizabeth! I'm on live on Facebook all the freaking time, like quite a bit. And I was like, come on, YouTube, come on, YouTube, come on, YouTube. Listen, I'm a verified YouTuber. I film at YouTube Space LA, okay? Like, give me my connections. And I didn't have it for a long, long time. Hi, Kelly. So I see you guys. So this is super cool. I have... Oh, yay! Oh, look at you guys all come in. So I have no idea what the comments and stuff like. Hi, Gwen. Is this like Facebook Live, Gwen? Because I know you're on there a lot. Let me know, because this is kind of cool. So let me tell you flat out how I function and what this is all about. Clearly, I would assume that only people who are subscribers to my Facebook page or my YouTube. Hold on, I should remember the product. Oh, that's so cool. Hold on, let me see. This is what it looks like. My husband just showed me. Isn't that cool? Oh, that's way cool. So I assume the people who are on here right now are people who are already my followers or subscribers on YouTube. Am I right? Thank you, Veronica. Yes, this YouTube Live is very cool. I'm going to keep calling it Facebook. I need to stop. So are you anybody on here that's not a subscriber? Oh, you're in Hawaii. I love Hawaii. So subscribe. Anybody not a subscriber? Hi, Robin. Hey, Melissa. Melissa puts up the best memes ever. Today, we're supposed to not be a shitty person. Can I say that on YouTube? I don't know. Facebook lets me get away with it. That's what Melissa posted today. And I said, okay. Anyways, subscriber. Okay. So I would assume that most of you guys, if anybody isn't a subscriber, just say, oh, I am not. I am following you. Interesting. Oh, hello, Jamaica. Hi, Candace. Yeah, okay, well, cool. Well, you know what? Who cares? You're here. So, for anybody who's been following me on YouTube for a while and wondering where my videos have been, well, two things. I've been over on Facebook Live, and I know, because we had live, and hi, guys, look at you guys coming in. And the reality is we fell. Why are you sending me texts in the middle of my YouTube broadcast? Now I can't see the top part of my head. I was notified you're live. Oh, cool. Very cool. Okay. So in full disclosure, it has been months and months and months and months since I have posted anything on YouTube. So I'm going to assume that most of you guys who are on here right now maybe aren't followers of mine on Facebook, so you have no idea what's going on. But we fell very, very behind on posting since May of last year. On May 26th, my husband nearly passed away due to a massive double infection. And we were shooting, and we shot a lot of stuff, and I just, between the recovery of, as you guys might know, well, as you guys know, you're YouTubers, or you watch my YouTubes, he has multiple sclerosis, and it was a mistake on our part assuming that a symptom that he was having was due to multiple sclerosis, and it wasn't. It was a massive double infection, completely minutes away from losing his life right here in this house, and so we fell really behind on YouTube. And I was really struggling with just kind of getting back in the flow of things with the unknown. Clearly he's pulled through. But our editing has fallen way behind. I had tons and tons of content that we had shot over at YouTube Space LA on plus size modifications and things. And none of it has seen I'm talking about my husband nearly dying, and you're asking me how much weight I lost. But that's okay. I get it, because it says I'm a plus size fitness motivator. So I'll tell you in a second. So anyways, so I say all that too because we have all these modifiers that I've done and all this content. I mean, so much stuff in relation to plus size fitness that hasn't seen the light of day yet. Well, the good news is we have an amazing editor who's been putting all that stuff together for us. And now that I have YouTube Live, I'll be on here more often. You'll still ask me about my sizes. Girl, I'm talking about my husband. And that stuff will start being posted on here. So this last year has probably been outside of when we went broken homeless, one of the worst years of our life. Thank you, Amy. One of the worst years of our lives. And we have overcome. My husband's doing much, much, much better. We thought that his MS was really going to take a turn for the worse, and it was looking that way. But we just think a lot of it had to do with him just being very, very weak. And he was not allowed to walk in the hospital at all, and walking is a problem for him. Anyways, because he was, what do they call it, Kareem? A seizure risk?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, seizure risk. Okay, so there you go. So we are just getting back into the thank you, guys. There's so many people saying, I hope he gets better. Keep on keeping on.
You.
He says thank you. We are survivors and we are thrivers, and I will tell you, it's been complicated. On top of all of this, some of the modifications, if you look at the modifications that I have already posted, a lot of those modifications were modifications. Thank you, Kelly. They're all saying very nice things about you, Kareem. He's saying thank you. The modifications I have posted, and I have tons more coming, were all me trying to recover from a massive knee injury that I had. Not quite as, I shouldn't use massive again because I use that word for my husband and his sickness, but it took me 17 months to recover from it. I went through a 2-year-long plateau. One of it was while I was going through some therapy. And, I love these comments. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. While I was going through some therapy. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing, too. And learning to, getting to the bottom of why I'm carrying some of this stuff on me. Okay? So, I wear my story. A lot of us who are plus size are wearing some sort of a story. Now, some people say, well, I love my body the way it is, and, I love my body the way it is, too. I also love taking better care of it, and these are the steps I need to take, and I very much believe in mental fitness because I understand that my current situation is how I look and do things, how I deal with tough situations, emotional eating, things like that. So in 2 out of the 4 years that I've been on a journey, 2 of those were either due to a plateau, dealing with some of the mental issues, I guess the best way to do it, going back to therapy, which is amazing. And then also I busted my knee and I had a 17-month recovery on top of that. I never spiraled out of control. I did have a 43-pound weight gain, but I never spiraled out of control and I started coming back down. Recently, we've discovered that my efforts aren't reflecting in my results, and we had to take a very good hard look at some things and recognize that it's time for me to go get checked out. We have been under a tremendous amount of stress for a long, long time, but really, honestly, if we just look at the past 10 years of starting to lose everything, kind of the downward fall, going broken homeless, trying to be built back up. And my husband and I were so strong during his illness in the hospital, like ridiculously strong. And I'm telling you, all the coaching that I share about, everything as my husband, everything that we talk about, we went back into it. He learned to become a fighter again, and he fought through it, so did I. And I think that we stayed so strong in moments that would really put anybody on their knees, that I think that what we needed to do was learn to digest it, to take a moment back and go, okay, you went strong, and you came out and said, I don't care what's going on, we're going to make stuff happen. And I think our body just went, ugh. I really do. And I was going to talk about this on my Facebook Live, but I'm talking about it on here. And I can tell that things are out of whack. So we are taking some steps right now. We do have a name for it, which is great. The only reason why I'm not talking about that right now, because we're wrapping our head around things and the steps that we need to take, and then I'll talk about it more. But the good news is all in our hands and fixable. So there you go. And so we'll be talking about that more and more as we go along our process. So it's been a really crazy year, and that's why you hadn't seen as much. So what else can I tell you what's going on? I'm so excited to be back and to have you Facebook. You all have to drink every time I say Facebook. Okay, ready, drink, shot. Take a shot when I say Facebook. So what can I tell you? I can tell you on here you'll be seeing a lot more modifications. For those of you guys who are maybe like, well, what does she do? I call myself a plus size health and fitness motivator. There were some words that I strung together when I had an opportunity to walk a runway for a fitness show, and I was the first plus size woman to ever walk that runway. And they're like, what do you call yourself? I'm like, plus size health and fitness motivator. Now, several people who call themselves that, and that's really awesome. Shot of water is fine. And that's really, really cool. And so what I do is I help women start and re-engage in fitness, and I share my journey. I've been sharing my journey since about 330 pounds on. I started off somewhere over 350 pounds. I don't know how heavy I was because the scale didn't go any higher. And so I'm not here because I know all the answers. I'm not here because I figured it all out. I'm here because I lacked motivation and support or the mental mindset to push through one last time, fear of failure, all those kinds of things when I started. And so I started utilizing social media as a place for me to turn to me. And so I don't worry about good angles. I don't worry about trolls. I don't worry about people going, oh, y'all listen to a fat girl talk about it. Well, that's been what's missing is, thank you. What's been missing is that we are told that you can't possibly want to look this way. Big, right? Plus size, whatever. You can't possibly be happy that way. You can only be happy when you're over here and you look this particular way. But what nobody was talking about was the journey. Nobody was talking about the steps in between and what that looked like and what the belly apron looked like. Is that transformed? Is it hung more? When things began to look more cellulite, when all of a sudden pants are fitting looser and you're on a journey, you can tell that you're shrinking. Now all of a sudden they're fitting tighter and you can't understand when it really just your belly shifting around. There's all these things that nobody was talking about, and I was so freaking frustrated by it that it was like this like dirty little secret that nobody wanted to share the in-between. So I started taking videos, not caring about the angle, didn't care if my butt showed. I call it my bumblebee, which is my belly and my booty. So I feel like I look like a bumblebee sometimes, which is fine. At least I got a cute name for it versus the other things I used to say to myself. And so I really utilize social media to find inner strength. And so I'm not here to, oh, thank you, Portia. I have all these nice messages. I literally came across you, just was helping me out. Oh, yay. Oh, thanks, guys. So what I have really loved is that I don't come on here to debate, talk into, or the merits of. I'm just a fat girl on a journey to fit who desperately looked for a version of myself with my struggles online 4 years ago, couldn't find her. I could only find before and afters. And so, for example, my YouTube channel started because it was I didn't know where else to put this video of me being on the verge of quitting. And it was these videos that started showing other women, and by me sharing on, I'm okay, yeah, I am a fat girl and I'm okay with it. By me showing my journey with other people, when it was just there for me to like inspire myself or keep myself on track, that it actually began to inspire other people. And people have no idea who Coach Shulin is. I mean, and I'm fine with that. You don't have to know who Coach Shulin is. But what people found was they were searching for something, a struggle, a thought that was rolling around in their head that made them feel very, very alone. And when they popped it into a search engine, there was a woman that looked like her who popped up and said, I have that struggle too, and here's what I'm doing. So I'm not the highlight reel girl. I'm not the bright, shiny things girl. I have makeup on today because I have makeup on today. But if I come on here sweaty hot mess. I just share where I am in that day. And it's really, really started this little mini movement, and I love that. So that's what I do, you guys. I'm a plus size health and fitness motivator. I share my journey, and I hope that my experiences and what I learn, or maybe I might learn something and realize that was a great idea. Here's the deal, you guys. I love failure. I absolutely love failure. I will fail all day long. I love failure. Failure is my greatest teacher, and I recognize that failure is not a negative thing. To me, failure is I got up and I did something, and I have valuable data sets now because of it, and I can evaluate and say, this is what worked well for me, this is what didn't, and here's how I need to tweak it for next time. Oh my, you were awesome. You made my journey come to life in a whole new way. Oh, thank you. Well, that was my Sandy. I love my Sandy. So it's cool. So I see people on here who are already part of my plus size support groups, which is awesome. So, anyway, so there you have it, you guys. That's all of it in a nutshell. A lot more to come here on Coach Shulin. We have lots of stuff that's been edited. Oh, thank you, Denise. I just called you Dennis. I meant Denise. A lot of stuff's been edited that we're going to start uploading. Those who are in my plus size support group are actually going to have a modification academy at their fingertips, but I share my modifications everywhere. And sometimes in sharing my modifications, it's just seeing another body like yours in motion. Like for me, I remember when I went looking for videos, I was having a struggle because my middle used to be about 2 feet larger than it is now. And I was trying to do these exercises. Oh, from Florence, beautiful, hello. I was trying to do these exercises and my tummy kept getting in the way. So I'll give you an example. And those of you guys who follow me for a while have heard this example a million times. But when I used to go to raise my knee, for like a knee raise as an example, what would happen was my belly was about 6 inches down my thighs. So when I would raise my knee just a couple of inches, my belly would rise up and then it would come up into my middle, and then my middle was already mashed up against my boobs as it was, and then as that came up, it began to push up against my neck, and I would feel like I was suffocating, and I could never get my center of gravity as such because I literally had this barrel around me to be able to get up and down off the floor. Like, this is not being funny. These are really things that we struggle with that makes us want to quit. But there were plenty of times I felt like a turtle on my back, unable to get up off the floor, or having to take really weird positions to get up. And, you know, sometimes you just kind of, that's my friend Mary, sorry. Sometimes you just got to giggle your way through it, but they were real struggles. And in those real struggles, what it was doing was, it was making me want to quit. And so I went online looking like somebody else's belly get in the way. Nobody was talking about it. And so I decided to start sharing that because I knew those were my quitting points. So what were my quitting points? What made me feel alone? What made me feel like I struggled? And I'm telling you, by using social media, it brought an incredible amount of people into my life. I have a very tight-knit circle of people who are in my plus-size support group. And they're my fit fam. They're my fit fam. So when I was lacking in life, I decided to go out and create. And so that's how this is all born. Oh, well, that makes me happy. Oh, thanks, guys. So some of the ladies in my plus-size support group are actually sharing how to get in contact with me, which is to email me and to apply for my plus-size support groups. Just so you know, I offer tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of content online for those who just like want a little bit here, a little bit there, but email.
With more coming.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. With a lot more coming, but for those who reach out to me via email, it's because they really want to work together with me in my systems as I go through them as well. So I very much share my answers. Can we see what plus size looks like? You can go look at my page. I don't know. You can go search plus size on the Google. And it might lead you back to the YouTube. So plus size comes in many forms. Anyways, you guys have any questions for me since I'm on here? I think it'd be kind of fun. I like this format. I have no response. Interesting. Ciao. Anyways, anybody have any questions for me? It's water. Ah, there's my weight loss question. I have lost at one point, hold on 1 second, about at least 110 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
At least, I don't know what I know of sliding into 400 pounds. I just don't know how much over 350 pounds I was. And then I had a 43-pound weight gain. Now I'm close to the 100-pound weight loss mark again, if that makes sense. Yeah, no, it is pretty awesome. But the reason why I'm like, well, kind of here and there, because I learned early in my journey not to focus on the numbers anymore. The numbers were, the scale in weight loss and stuff like that is like, I had to focus on non-scale victories. Yes, I have been injured while working out. Yes. As a matter of fact, my knee injury was because, don't let your ego get in the way with your workouts. Don't let your ego get in the way with your workouts. My ego got in the way. And there was an instructor. I don't know if I can go back up and see the question. So if I don't answer your question
Yeah,
right,
you can.
I can scroll. Okay, cool. So I went into a class at a gym, and the instructor was teaching a Thai cardio class. I'm going to be totally honest. Not everybody loves each other, and thank you. And this instructor honestly did not like me. But the owner of the gym said, keep going in. I was frustrated because she was never sharing modifications. And so she looked a lot like Ariana Grande, really, really cute. Went to this cardio kickboxing class. To give you an idea, it followed or led into a silver sneakers class. And Silver Sneakers is a senior-based fitness program. And so this girl came out and literally like, what's the chick from Tomb Raider? Lara Croft. She like Lara Croft the shit out of us. And I'm sitting back there and there's these silver sneakers in the row behind me. And then there's me who used to box. And I'm like going, I'm going to die. So she's showing us how good, can you tell her to stop texting me? She's showing us how fancy smancy she is. And all the moves she can do, but she's never broken it down for us on how we can do it. And so I had just come back from a trip where I got certified in size. And I was pounding on concrete, which kind of was making a little bit of an issue in my IT band. And it was like pounding on concrete for a while. Long story short, she took us down into a stretch, and I went down a stretch knowing full well I shouldn't do it. And my knee went pop, rip, rip. People are always asking me what my specific knee injury is. I will not list it because I've learned that my followers really, 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 really want to shortcut through things. And they just want to know, what did you do exactly? And I'm going to do exactly that without understanding what, did you tell her? Without having them understand that it's very unique to them and their journey. And let me just tell you, I had to... Sorry, that's my success partner. And if she doesn't see me on YouTube Live, they were like, don't send messages right now because dinging all over the place on Tulin's YouTube was the last one she said was ding and thumbs up. So I'm waiting for a couple of bloops. So anyways, so long story short, I busted my knee. Size is a body movement program to music, aka dance. But you're gonna come back and go, well, I don't dance, I have 2 less feet. I got a bunch of ladies in here, I took you through the size and country heat. So long story short, yes, I have injured myself while working out. And people say, well, I'm afraid I'm gonna get hurt. How do I get past that mindset? I'm like, I'm afraid I'm going to die if I, die an early death if I don't take care of this. So I don't move forward in fitness and fear. You guys asked a lot of questions, just really awesome. Okay, so I can easily, okay, cool.
It's really easy.
Yeah, it's didn't really, okay, so how much have you lost? I answered that. Sorry, it's my thumb in there. That's kind of weird, right? Let me use this hand instead. What? Hold on, what's going on? How long did that take? Okay. I'm going to answer this question about how long did it take for me to lose the weight. I don't like answering that question, and I'll tell you why. Because that means you're looking for quick weight loss. So I teach the long game, not the short game. So people ask me how long you've been on your weight loss journey. I say since 1973. Do the math. I'm 43 years old. So that's how I'm going to answer that because I battled my weight and my mindset for many, many, many years. Oh, Carmen, you wrote me something I don't understand. Let's see. I don't follow any diets. I follow strong nutrition. Oh, well then just do them upright. Do upright knee raises. Go look at the Modification Academy I have, Portia. Not Academy. The Academy's not in here. But go look at the modifications. There's more to come. But there's like a million things on there that you can modify. I don't know if you guys know, but Sean T asked me to be on stage with him, and I did a workout with him, and I asked to be the modifier. He did not reach out to me specifically to be the modifier. He didn't want to be stereotypical in that way, but it was really important to me to be able to do that and be the modifier. And they were doing burpees, and I modified live on stage. So there's a million different ways you can modify a burpee. Liza said, I'm trying to lose weight. What is it good to eat and drink before and after? What can you recommend? Liza, I would be doing you a disservice if I felt that I can answer that question for you right now, because who you are unique in your goals and struggles would determine the best place for you to start. So the best place for you to start is to get moving, okay? Exactly how you should eat, et cetera, you would have to email me, and then we would have to look at this and look at you very, very specifically, and that requires me coaching you through it. And you might go, well, I was trying to sell you something. I'm not. What I'm trying to do is not be the a-holes that are out there trying to give you a one-stop shop. I will tell you each one of the ladies in my group are going to progress differently in this journey and what's right for them. It's a very unique process. So I can't answer that for you because I don't believe there's any one right answer. The best answer is I know that I can't eat in moderation. Like, you know, people have like cheat meals or a treat meal or eat in moderation. That kicks my butt. I can't do that. I know that I have to eat very clean, whole foods. I know there's certain foods that affect me, and I'm still learning more and more about my journey in nutrition, and depending on where my hormones are and things like that, all of that can affect what we should be eating and not eating, and it's such an individual thing that I've learned. My name on Facebook is Coach Shilin, just like here. Are there actual workouts videos that we can follow on your YouTube channel? I actually have some things that are going to be coming up that have already been edited. It just needs my voiceover. I was going to do that today, but I'm on live now, and I won't be doing that today.
Brand shiny things.
No, the reason why is that when I go on live or I've talked to you guys, it takes a lot of my energy, so to speak, and so the last thing I want to do is try to do a voiceover on a video that needs to be uploaded. But there will be some little workouts for you. My inspiration equals my coach is Corey McGovern. Oh, yay, Kelly! Well, you should do size. You should email me about size. Okay. All right. Do you do 1 meal? What are some tips for working out in the gym? What exercise equipment is good for someone who wants to burn fat? Currently, is a treadmill and bike. Liza, I know you said you never got a reply back. I'm not sure why you didn't get a reply back. We're really good about emails. But I re-email me because I don't know what's right for you. I really, really don't. But if the treadmill and the bike aren't working for you, it's probably time for you to mix it up. Weight training, things like that. So I don't have that answer for you. How often do you weigh yourself? Well, I used to weigh myself a lot. Then I developed a much healthy relationship with my scale, and I try not to weigh myself that frequently, hopefully no more than a week. Once a month is great, depends on where I am. Sometimes I fall back into old habits, it's just wanting to see like where I am, and I have to pull myself back off the scale. I recognize that my results are reflected much more greatly in my non-scale victories and inches and things like that, and it doesn't necessarily reflect in the scale in the way that we think that it should, if that makes sense, but then my body's like shrinking. So let me answer that question in a little different way, Nicole. I don't use the scale to measure my progress as a whole. I use the scale as one of very many tools to determine my progress. Does that make sense? Okay. Bama, I can't say the rest of your name. Bama P-Dub, hopefully I said that right. Any tips for getting over gym anxiety? I feel like there's a treadmill running, bench squatting beast inside of me, but I just can't work up to it. Oh my gosh, okay, this question really, really excites me. I totally understand the gym anxiety, and it's usually attached to an experience. I had an experience. I've had several actually. But one in particular was I was making some progress, and a trainer came up to me, I think to get my business, and said, I would be doing that if I were you. And I was doing back extensions. I was holding a 25-pound weight to my waist, and my chest, and I was doing back extensions. And I said, well, why? This is earlier, before I started doing all the things I'm doing now. And I go, well, why? I've had all this progress, all this change, et cetera, et cetera. And he goes, honey, even lifting a hairbrush right now would be a workout for you. So I kind of did something that looked a lot like this. So I've had my experiences. And if you feel that you have that beast inside of you, then she is inside of you, and I encourage you to go and do it. So here's the deal. The people at the gym are really focused on themselves. If they are too focused on you, it's like gossip folk, right? Like if somebody feels the need to give you for example, I'll post something, somebody will come and go, oh, that's great, but you should blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I didn't ask for your unsolicited advice. I'm not saying the information was invalid or correct or something that's helpful to me, but we shouldn't assume when somebody's doing something that we can tell them how they can do it better. You can have a conversation. You can ask permission to go, hey, I was seeing you do the squats, and I had this thing that really worked for me. I'd love to be able to share that with you. Do you want to know about it? Then I would. But when somebody just gives you unsolicited advice, I'm like, I'm not hearing you because it's not your place. Oh, that's really good, but you know what I'm saying? So the reality is, in the gym, most people are in there focusing on themselves. If you have somebody that's going to give you anxiety in the gym, the easiest thing to do is that my journey is not for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you are focused on your workout and getting better and bringing out that inner beast in you, that squatting beast that you're talking about, you're not worried about what anybody else is saying. What they say or what they think is none of your business anyway. So the hardest day, and in my plus size support group, I have two different types of groups that I start people at. There's one that I personally coach them through, and there's another one where I don't want to conflict with other people and their coaches because it's the exact same information. And I actually help them work through getting up to day one. It's in the prep material because day one is the hardest. day one is the hardest. And I've had ladies who've waited weeks and weeks and months and years to get the courage to go back in the gym. And I literally take several days and get them strong enough to go back in the gym. The other thing is too, who said you can't do those workouts at home? Majority of my results came from home. So hopefully that helped you. Oh, cool, Gwen. That's interesting. Yeah, I'd be really curious. I can't wait to see what this looks like compared to Facebook. Okay, how do you deal with cravings and emotional eating? Jennifer, this is something we go into great detail in my plus size support group. So I'm gonna try to give you the answer to that as contained as in a nutshell as I can, but it's not a quick answer. The first thing was to understand the difference between deprived and emotional eating. And here's where most people don't understand, those who are plus size, who've gained a lot of weight, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of us don't necessarily overeat throughout the day. A lot of us deprive ourselves most of the time. And then we get hungry and we go and eat, and we just want to eat the whole freaking house because we're hungry. And so it's really understanding nourishment. So I have tools that I use to help me with my cravings. I have a good understanding when it's emotional eating, when it's not. I have some tools that I utilize and I share on that. And the reason why I say that, because it's a bunch of little bits and pieces, but I'm going to bet you it's not as bad as you think it is, because we all had an aha moment in my plus size support group about that, Jennifer Green. A lot of times it's because you're deprived, and oftentimes we are not nourishing ourselves and we're not nourishing ourselves appropriately. And so what I've learned, that a lot of the symptoms and the struggles that we talk about is often based in the fact that we aren't feeding ourselves correctly. And that often comes from that we never learned to do that. And so people who are nutrition experts or fitness experts, et cetera, they had a passion and a spark that encouraged them to go out and learn more about that. Well, I began to develop a passion and a spark in learning more about that and sharing that with other people as I learn. Not because I have all the answers, but because we think that we have the information in our hands and we should just know how to apply that. The problem is, here's us, here's the information. How do you bridge the gap between the two and apply that to where you are in your journey? And that's the part that's not talked about. And that's where people make a lot of assumptions about this journey. So I deal with those on a daily basis. I struggle with them on a daily basis. But what I've learned is to quiet the voice down and understand that I can't shut it up, that it's always going to be there. But I work on stronger and stronger habits in my nourishment and how I nourish my body. And that allows that voice to get stronger. Does it mean that I'll dip down into the quiet voice and start making that louder? It happens quite often because this is a very old, strong habit. But I have a better understanding and respect of this relationship and this voice, because it's what's got me through tough times, and it's what I learned to do. So if that makes sense. So it's a much broader conversation. It's not one I can answer quickly, but it's one I talk about a lot. Stacy, what exercise I do now? I hurt my knee. I'll tell you this, since my knee injury, my squats have never been better and my lunges are getting better. So once you lose your ability to do something, then you're like, wow, damn, now I really wish I could squat and lunge. So I've gone from being completely unable to do it, and my husband especially, who has MS. I've gone from not being able to do anything. It's really difficult for me to talk about, that's not true. It's very difficult for me to use in knee injuries and mobility problems for me as an excuse not to move forward in my journey, when I have a husband with multiple sclerosis who retaught himself to walk after losing the ability to walk for 2 years. And I learned a lot about modifications from him, just watching him kind of expand on his journey. So for me, I think the best answer to your question, Stacey, is to really work on building up your knee strength and finding out from your doctor. I don't know why you have knee issues. Is it because of weight? Is it because of lack of mobility? Does it feel like that you can't be as mobile because your knee hurts, and so you're not being mobile, and so your knee hurts more, and then you have less mobility, and it becomes this vicious cycle? So we think that there's a direct correlation between knee injury and what we need to do to fix it, but it's a much broader story. It's a lot more that's going on, and those are all things that take time to figure out. Oh, that's awesome, Shelly. That makes me so happy. Shelly said your modifications helped motivate me during my physical therapy. You turned 70 this year, Linda. That's awesome. and believe I'm not too big or too old. You are not too big or too old. I have ladies I've worked with in their late 60s. One that was close to 70, and I'll tell you something. They came in challenging me, not to my face, but like, this, what is this girl gonna teach me, right? I will tell you, they were some of my best students. Yes. And they were able to change. You're talking about when you're in your 60s, 65, 70, that's a lot of years on some of us of really building really strong habits, whether they're good or bad, it doesn't matter. It's a lot of practice and repetition. Like, you got very good at whatever that habit is, and to be able to turn it has been really, really amazing to watch. And as someone who's 43, you know what I mean? Like, as I become more and more inspired by those who are in their 60s and 70s, because guess what? I'm a short distance away from that myself, and so I want to be that 70-year-old in the gym who's doing like deadlifts and stuff like that. I love that. I love breaking the mold. So I totally agree with you. It's completely possible to make those changes. Awesome, Denise. I've already done insanity. I started off with insanity, and here's what it looked like. Yep. That's where I started. That was the very first video I ever posted on YouTube, was my video where I was going to quit. And I just need a place to put it. Who's an ass? I hope she wasn't talking to me, Bama. Did I miss a comment? Somebody say something stupid? That's okay. I literally, my brain ignores them. Let's see. What am I doing? Döner kebab. Ben hiçbir şey yapmıyorum. Sen ne yapıyorsun? Döner kebab. How can I lose belly fat? I drink too much beer. Well, beer's probably playing a role in that. There's so much that, like, for me, like I said, I've lost over 2 feet in my middle. And that could depend on whether I'm swollen up or not, but as a whole, I've lost over 2 feet in my middle. The biggest changes honestly came with nutrition. Now, I didn't start off focusing on my nutrition. I really just started off focusing on movement. Like, let's just build one habit at a time, because I try to throw and do everything all at once. Yeah, there's a lot of it's nutrition based. And I know that's going to make you, that makes not you necessarily, but it makes a lot of people go, ugh. Focus on movement first. And believe me, changes will start to happen. But what if you have an inflammatory response to the barley or the hops that are in the beer, and that's what's really swelling you up? Mm-hmm. So, I don't know.
And then you're adding alcohol to the equation, which increases inflammation.
If I'm inflamed, I can't have alcohol. But in the case that I have alcohol, what do I have, cream?
Vodka.
Yeah, but which vodka? Chopin?
Chopin, yeah.
Chopin vodka is what I turn. Chopin, something like that. So if I'm out and about and I want to have something and it doesn't inflame me because it's not grain-based. I actually thought all vodka was potato vodka. Anyways, long story short. So that could be what it is, but... True, so true. Nighttime eating. Hi, how do you use a planner in what ways? Oh, I'm a total bullet planner now. I use bullet journal, I should say. I use a bullet journal. I emotionally eat sometimes when I'm in bed watching TV, I have a meal in front of me, like after dinner. You know what? I'm going to bet you, don't feel like a jackass about it and guilty about it. You know what I bet you it is? I tend to overeat when I'm really, really tired. And if you have, say you have the TV on, yeah, your brain is really stimulated, and then you're eating, and then it becomes, how do I say it? It's like eating without emotion. It's very mechanical. Yeah, I get the TV out of your room. Try that first. Okay. Any tips to get yourself motivated to wake up early in the work out? Yes. That's, it's out of your way. Like, legit. Like, working out first thing in the morning, early in the morning, for me, the workout's out of my way and it's done. And that plays such a huge role in my journey. It's when I tend to have the best results. And so for me, it's like with the term eating that frog. If I just literally the thing that can really get my feet to hit the floor in the morning is like, just get your freaking workout done now, and you don't have to worry about it for the rest of the day. Like, you have 24 hours from right this minute to not have to worry about your workout, because what happens, it eats my brain for the rest of the day. Anyways, okay, well, that was kind of fun being on YouTube Live. Thank you so much. I have no idea how this will show up on YouTube, but I did my first live. I tend to do a lot more Facebook Lives, but I will probably be doing more YouTubes and probably be a little more, I'm usually a rambler anyways, but I'm just very transparent and honest about my journey, and what I think works for me now, I may go through and practice that and might find a better way to do that. I share that. I just stay really, really open. And, you know, as I kind of move forward in this journey, and as my husband and I kind of wrap our heads around what we need to do for our health right now, we'll be talking about that. But in the meantime, we got to keep taking good care of ourselves, you guys. This is a journey. It's not about a destination for me. I have had huge, amazing results. Before I even lost any pounds, I just stopped focusing on the weight. And my hope is just to inspire people not to quit and just to show what the journey in between looks like. I just saw a video on you doing Insanity, encouraged me to get to doing it. I've had it for a couple of years and nearly got it. Oh, well, that's awesome. That's very, very cool. Anyways, you guys, so anybody who wants to reach out to me about my plus size support groups, you can email me. I'll have my husband put that up again for me. I think it is there in the comments, but here's the deal, you guys. It's the only thing that I ask you. Please don't email me to kick my tires. If you were just looking for some tips and information, things like that, I highly encourage you to go to my social media pages. You literally have 4 years of my journey on Instagram alone. I shared a lot on YouTube up until my husband got sick. And I have my Facebook page that has a ton of stuff. You can find so much information there. I'm 43 years old. You can find so much information on my social media pages. But only email me if you're very serious about wanting to work directly with me, okay? And I just ask that because I take time away from my family, my life, whatever it is that I have going through, and I'm just not in the convincing game. So if it's really important to say, hey, I really want to work with somebody who's on the journey like I am, and she's willing to share her answers, and I'm seeing all these people who've worked with her having great results, then email me. But please don't email me to try to convince you to work with me. Email me because you know it's a thing you want to do. Because I do go through, like I have you go through a questionnaire because I need to know about your goals and your struggles and things like that. So I only want to reply to emails from people who are very serious about working with me. Trouble said, I love that your first part of your name is Trouble. Oh my God, you look 28. Your skin and features are beautiful. Thank you. They weren't always, well, I've been considered beautiful at different parts of my life, which I love, and I'm learning to call myself beautiful on a daily basis. But the skin that you're seeing, all of this is inside out nutrition. The better I take care of myself, the better it is. I've had PCOS, so I had cystic acne, I had hair growing out of my face, I had male pattern balding. I had when we went broke and homeless, I think my skin looked the worst. My skin looked very, very thick, and my pores were really, really obvious, and I was very, very ashamed of my skin. I just aged so much, and so strong nutrition, water. I do now put some things on my face that help, but none of that mattered for the longest time until I got some things in gear. I know things aren't working well by the chubbiness in my cheeks. If you might notice, I'm a little puffer fished right now. And if I'm not feeding myself right. So, yeah, people were surprised to find out that I'm 43 years old. I'm shocked I'm 43 years old. Like, that can't be real because I dress like freaking Justin Bieber. So, I don't know. Oh, Lucy, I will walk you through all of that. You got to email me. Email me at my lucylucy2linpmm@gmail.com. We do that in my groups. You're awesome. Inspired to start my journey. Awesome. That's awesome. Cool, you guys. 1 minute. I'm going to go because I got stuff to do and it's Sunday here. But thank you for being with me. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you for being with me, trying my first YouTube live. And go from there. Oh, I'm going to answer this for you, Christo. My first workouts were 2 to 3 minutes because that's all I thought I could handle. And then I did them. And I'm like, maybe I can do a little more. So the next day I did a little more. The next day I did a little more. Maybe the next day I tried to do a little more. But then I regressed a little bit because now I was sore. And I'm like, what do I do with the soreness? I'm going to work through my soreness. So, there are very specific times that, you have the best fat burn and this and that during very specific times. But I think it's very important to understand where you're starting from and then getting through the BS in your ears that tells you what you think you can't do and to challenge it. So work at your ability and then challenge it. And you always be surprised by what you can actually do. And so what I would actually tell you is, I wouldn't give you a time period to start with. I'd tell you it gets better every day. Get better every day. Yep, be better than you were yesterday. And that's it. I literally only tell you guys what I do. what I do when I teach other people, like quite literally, like there's no BS in what I tell you. And I know people want, but what is the answer? And I think that's the problem, is that there's so many people telling us, just do this. And then again, we're over here going, well, how do I get from here to here? Like I hear it, like I'm intelligent, like I get the info, but I don't know how to step from here. So how do I get to this part? So sometimes you have to understand, you'll see stuff that's beginners, like modifications. When you see people doing modifiers, those aren't necessarily made for people who are brand new to exercise. You have to think of them a lot of times as like an intermediate or advanced modification almost, like, right? Like, yes, it's really great that you could do push-up on your knees, but some people need to start off on the wall. No, it is a size hat. It's just on backwards. I need to break the bill. So, I just didn't do my hair today, so that's what you got. I did my makeup, but not my hair. So when that happens, I do this. But sometimes I wear a hat to do my hair. So you never really know. It's kind of like, what's under Tulin's hat today? Anyways, you guys. All right, I gotta go. Love you.